Good Thursday to y'all. TBT, we call it. I am on the assignment God put me on. As early as 10 years old, I started writing poems. I was going to Noosa Park Elementary School. Second, third, fourth, and fifth grade, I became well known as a poet in fourth and fifth grade out of my elementary school and by those who knew me at church and in the community. That transpired into putting together raps. I would rap, I would freestyle rap on field trips on the buses with summer camp. I even wrote a rap for the church choir and ministered through rap, as we would say in the church. Some people would say perform. In the sixth grade, I wrote a poem about my waves. And then I also wrote a poem about Jackie Robinson. Both poems won one of the best out of my class. I actually performed the Jackie Robinson poem in front of the whole sixth grade body. Then I got in high school, and in high school, I explored band, but I also played football and baseball, both to 10th grade. After 10th grade, just football all 4 years of school. But I was always the player on the team that went above and beyond. I would get out on the practice field early, sometimes just go hit the bag all by myself. I asked some people who went to Heritage High School with me that played JV and varsity. There were times I would get out there and hit the bag by myself. And then back in my band days, you would see me marching. I played the clarinet in 9th and 10th grade. You'd see me marching in my football pads. Like I had my football pants on, so waist down I was football, waist up I was band. While JB was getting ready to practice, and immediately after practicing with the band, I go run over and knock some people over in football. You know what I'm saying? So far I did poetry, rapping, singing, band. I got out of band in 10th grade, not because I didn't like playing instruments anymore, or clarinet, but I also knew how to play drums. I played the drums in my church. There was Jonas Watson, well-known athlete out of Bethel High School. He the one taught me how to play drums. We went to the same church, so shout out to the Watson family. You all were a big part of my childhood, youth experience, as a drummer, as a collaborator in church. You get what I'm saying? We had Deacon Watson back then, and we had a small but growing church, but we all knew one another, and that's what made the experiences growing up so much better in church life. That family orientation, it was there. We all knew one another. We all had each other's numbers. We all went to each other's houses. We all suffered 3 services sometimes on Wednesdays and Sundays, but it's TBT, it's Throwback Thursday, so I'm gonna throw you back. But there we have 4th and 5th grade poetry, singing, rapping. We got winning the best poem out the class, rapping in front of the whole 6th grade body about Jackie Robinson. In high school, we added band. I joined band in 6th grade. I sucked at playing the clarinet in 6th. 7th grade, I was a turnaround student with band. I got better. Shout out to Miss Grotto at Crittenden Middle School. I'm telling all my business. So we got Noosa Park, Crittenden, Heritage. And then, by senior year of high school, I performed Must Be Nice by Lyfe Jennings with my own lyrics, though. Myself and DeVelle Martin in front of I want to say mainly seniors and people who graduated 05 class, but I performed in front of basically the school, because we did one in the auditorium in front of seniors and then one for whoever wanted to come. It was a talent show my senior year. And I went on to do some of these same things in college at Shaw University and at ODU. At Shaw, when I played ball, I would freestyle with teammates. There was this one teammate, Tamasio Levy. I think he's from down south Mississippi or Alabama. We would freestyle on the bus. Omar from Tennessee. Omar was our quarterback. Tamasio was one of the DBs, defensive backs, if you don't know anything about football. Shout out to them. And I got well known for freestyling. We'll freestyle on the yard sometime. Kevin recorded some freestyles. Kevin, y'all know Kevin that went to Shaw. I always kept a camera with him. The media specialist, the filmmaker. Big shout out to Kev Parkinson. He's from Cali, straight out of Cali. What's up, Kev? But I've always known what I wanted to do, and it required writing. It required speaking in front of public, in front of a big audience. It required singing and rapping. It required sometimes choreography. You know, I learned how to step when I was in Georgia at Green Summer Camp back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I know how to step. Now I can't get out here and step, but I can do a little something. But all in all, I say all this because I've always known what I wanted to do, and I've always done it. And although life brings financial challenges for people such as myself who don't chase the money, but I chase what God wants me to do. That's what I chase. Chasing after you, no matter what I have to do. Y'all know that song? Cause I need you more and more. I'm chasing after you. I forgot the next line. Praising my way through just to be closer to you. But that's always been me. And sometimes people will look at my situations and say, hey, and I talked about this on my live yesterday on Facebook, you know, why didn't you go into the military? God didn't tell me to go into the military. Why don't you sell insurance? God didn't say that I have to not learn how to sell insurance. I can learn. That could be something added onto my belt. But the gifts God gave me, I'm just using them every day. And as I always allude to Matthew chapter 25, the parable of the talents, I use what God gave me, and he blesses that. He blesses me in my obedience. He blesses me because I get up here and I'm transparent about some things I go through. He blesses me because I always mention his name when I'm going through. I always tell people how I got through. Give you my testimony. I gave you the good and the not so good. Some testimonies didn't come because I was obedient. Some testimonies came because I just hung in there. Like when we had to do pull-ups at one point in school and you couldn't do a pull-up, so the PE teacher say, just hold your chin above the bar like this and you'll get some type of credit. That's me sometimes. I'm just holding my chin above the bar, getting credit with God until I can do a pull-up. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I'm not stagnant. Everything that I've been doing since I was 10 years old has been the ingredients to the success that I have. I had to write some essays in college to get some grant money, to get some scholarships. I had to take notes in a lot of my classes to remember the content and know what to study and practice. I had to get a tutor in college to help me with the part that I did not understand. It took practice. It took getting up early. It's 6-something in the morning right now. I was a substitute teacher from 2009 to 2015. I was a full-time teacher 2015, 2016, 2019, January 2019 to now. So I've always had things dealing with family orientation, people orientation, diversity, speaking, writing, reading, typing, motivational speaking. That always been me. If you played on any team I played on, I was one of the people trying to get everybody revved up always. Not a cheerleader because I could ball too. I was good in baseball, good in basketball, good in football, good in anything I put my mind to. I was good in it. And what I need people to understand when it comes to me, if you see me struggling, that does not mean pull me away from the will God has me on. If I am the sowing ground that God assigns you to, then sow. If I'm not, then pray for a brother, root for a brother, cheer for a brother. You ain't got to do none of those. You can just say nothing at all. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But if you call yourself my friend, definitely do one of the ones I just named. Root for me, cheer for me, pray for me. That I stay enthused in the will of God. And that's what I pursue. I pursue the will of God. And God allows that happiness. And I think a lot of us, we go chasing after the money. We move out of God's will by going out of state, going out the country. And although it sounds nice, look at what God says. I'm throwing y'all back on this Thursday. Look at what God has always put in you to do. Do more of that. Steve Harvey said it all the time. I was good at telling jokes. I had to go to my mama and tell her, this is what I'm going to do for life, for a lifestyle. And she was just like, Steve Harvey says this, you need to work hard like your dad. And Steve Harvey told his mama, in his words, I'm going to work hard like that. And look what Steve Harvey's at. And there's so many other people who knew what they were always good at, and they stuck with it. And I'm just sticking with it. You know, my big break may be now. I'm looking at my numbers on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and they are excelling greatly. I had 3 posts yesterday go for 1,000 views on YouTube. That doesn't sound like much to somebody who's getting 10,000 or millions, but I remember I used to get 3 or 4. I look at TikTok and automatically every time I post is around 200. I went for 700 last week, some change. I remember when I only had 10, 15. Facebook, y'all know, monetized up there. And God doesn't breathe on something he wants to die out. And it may look like something's dying out in my life, especially these financial reasons. But like I said, the adversaries are just great. So that means God's just going to do greater. The adversaries, if you are watching, if you are my adversary, my enemy, if you want to see me fall, fail, and fold, just stay tuned. Because the God I serve, he going to outdo you at all times, at any times. The who, what, where, when, why, and hows. God got me. And I'm serving in God's will. The vision is written on the wall. And I won't get away from it. So if you with God, you with me. And if you ain't got God, you ain't got me. But you can get you some God today. I want to give a little altar call, but I'm going to leave that to y'all. You want to get you some God, just open up your Bible, first page. Just read it straight through every day. Because every day I come across something I hadn't seen before, and I've been reading this Bible since 2017. I'm only on page 911. I'm in Habakkuk right now. That's all I'm going to say. Get you some God. And you got me. If you ain't got God, you ain't got me. Everything I say ain't going to make sense to you. And don't just get them just to say, hey, I got them. Get them because in getting God, you gain understanding, and you understand why it's important to work within the will he has for you, and not the will that he has for conveniency, not the will that he has under commonalities of the world, society views. You got to do what God put you here on this earth to do. And do it well. Get better at it. Get up earlier about it. Be in a way to be an inspiration in the field that you know God will have you to be in to others. Be an inspiration to others by speaking positively, doing positively, living upright, cutting out things that you know God know is blatant sin. And it's blatant sin when you know better. That's all I'm going to leave y'all with. I gave y'all 14 minutes today, throwing y'all back on Thursday. Since I was 4 or 5, I've been doing what I'm doing right now. Keep it there.